So Black Widow came out. These are our full spoiler thoughts. Let's do this. Black Widow is finally here after like 2 years. I'm joined by my buddy Chris from Filmstock, and it's going to be a full spoiler review. So if you have not seen a movie, click away. If you just don't give a shit, stick around. Here we go. We're going to dive into it. So what are your kind of overall quick thoughts on Black Widow?
Yeah, so for me, it was a movie that I had been anticipating quite a bit. I was worried going in because I knew we'd seen so much footage from the movie.
Facts.
Literally, they showed like a lot of the movie. There's going to be spoilers, so I'm just going to let you know I'm going in right now.
Good.
So they showed like a ton of the movie in the trailers, which is, I'm just going to say, that's the main issue I have with this movie.
Facts.
Is by the time we even get to the third act, and we're going to jump all over the place, by the way, we get to the third act, like, you see the final confrontation between Taskmaster and Black Widow in the freaking trailer. They even did a promotional campaign on Instagram where you see these two characters fight. And when you find out who Taskmaster is, that's another big letdown for the movie.
So for me, I dug it. I was going in expecting like a prequel aspect movie, and that's really what we got. And I mean, I like the first 10 minutes probably the best. We were talking about that a little bit yesterday. Yeah. First 10 minutes is awesome. I'm getting to see where they came from as kids, and like Red Guardian and Melina, I believe is the mom's name.
Yeah,
they weren't even their parents, and like that's what's actually really cool. We got to see Natasha and Yelena as kids, why they got taken, where they got sent to the Red Room. Like the intro, that's like, oh, it's saying everyone's names. I hate shit like that.
That was, again, I complained yesterday. I don't like drawn out intros. Guy Ritchie does it. The Bond movies even have long songs. Come at me, Bond fans.
That's what it feels like. Like Skyfall was playing. We're sitting here watching this over and over.
Kim made a good point that I talked to her on the phone. She said it was really disturbing, and I'm like, you're right. If you actually pay attention to it, it felt like trafficking children. Very unsettling. Almost one of the more disturbing opening things to an MCU movie.
I was gonna say this is probably the most mature MCU film.
One of them.
I honestly, at times, I said this could be rated R. Like certain when they're in a prison scene where Red Guardian is armless people, snaps a dude's arm limp. A girl's leg is bent sideways. It was gruesome. The violence was kind of high, and I was like, this is a little darker, almost like episode 4 of Falcon Winter Soldier, killing that dude with a shield. I got those kind of vibes. I dug it probably more than you though, but the big elephant in the room is Taskmaster kind of sucks, and it's not her fault technically. It's not her fault. It was she was the daughter of the big villain Dreykov.
Right,
Dreykov is the big villain of the movie. He's the guy who raised all these girls in the Red Room. He's a terrible piece of crap human, but his daughter is Taskmaster, who has 7 minutes of screen time, and that's trash. I mean, for being the big marketed villain. I mean, dude, and Taskmaster in the suit looks so cool. I mean, it looks badass. You're like, dude, who is this guy? You're scared about it. They had a big reveal finding out that it is his daughter. It wasn't a big reveal at all because we didn't know that it was his daughter.
Yeah, the issue I have with the whole Taskmaster thing is Dreykov is just this conventional MCU villain, not even one of the more memorable ones at all. I forget about it in a day. I don't remember him, right? Yeah. And then when you get to the daughter thing, it's well, she was dead, and when she comes back, she's some robotic figure that has no emotion behind Taskmaster. And when you think Taskmaster, you promote it as this big bad villain of the MCU.
Yes.
This cool skill set. It did not pay off at all, and that was the most disappointing aspect of the movie.
That's honestly, and when I look at it now, I'm it wasn't really the villain of the film, was their past coming back. That was my interpretation of it. Dreykov was kind of happy to be the guinea pig to go attack and go after, but Taskmaster being marketed like that, it really hurt him. And when we do a heroes and villains ranking this weekend, he's gonna be down low. He's gonna be probably in the bad tier.
I'm interested to see what people think about Draco. I would say Draco Malfoy.
I know exactly. That's
Dreykov.
Dreykov.
Standout of the movie though, there's two in my opinion, and it's Florence Pugh as Yelena and David Harbour's Red Guardian.
100%.
They're comedic relief, but also they have a lot of heart and soul in their relationship. And it borderline overshadowed Black Widow at times, to me.
Okay, that's fair. I still felt like this was Black Widow's movie, and I felt like she was the focal point of the movie. But every time Florence Pugh was on there, and when she wasn't on screen, I kind of wanted her to be. Florence Pugh is one of the best actresses working today. She's so good. Her emotion, talking these Russian accents. I mean, dude, it was. And then David Harbour, I kind of, or Red Guardian, it's kind of like Drax to me. I was telling you about this. Because he's really there just kind of for comedic relief. He's a big muscle of the group. Every time it's a dramatic moment, they have comedic relief. I think he's a lot more likable than Drax because David Harbour is David Harbour, but that was kind of irritating me at times. I want him just to be sentimental for a moment, but it set up a lot of things, I feel, for it to be this big action-packed movie, and it's more like a family drama throughout.
It was. The second act was lacking a lot of action. To me, the plot is so bare bones. It's not a bad thing, but the plot of the movie is, okay, let's go find the Red Room and kill Dreykov.
It's very simple.
It does, and it almost loses track of that when they go to the house. They go to Melina's house, and they have this big dinner table scene, and then they go their separate ways. You got a father with Red Guardian and Yelena in one room, and then vice versa, and they're just talking, and there's small character moments. but it's almost drawn out, and then there's a jump scare that kind of kills a really true emotional moment.
Yeah, exactly, and that's what happens throughout. And then in the House of Melina, that's what like during the timer, like this is kind of annoying, but as we go on to the mission part, it does like flashbacks and like why it felt so long, and I dug that. So okay, that makes that more worth it now because they had a plan in place. But like you said in the beginning, the big action set piece at the end, we saw the whole thing from the trailer. Like, no lie, if you guys saw the trailer and you've seen Endgame, you know where this movie's going.
Absolutely.
I mean, like, everyone who's alive in the trailer is alive in this movie. We both predicted Red Guardian is gonna die.
We were wrong.
And 100% we were wrong.
Thankfully we were, because he was one of the best characters in the movie.
MCU doesn't kill off characters like that likable, and he's like, Red Guardian should get a show. Imagine like MCU show Red Guardian.
Yeah, imagine
who he is and where did he come from. I want to know that. I want like 2 different timelines. Him as a kid getting trained, then him as David Harbour, older, kicking ass, all big and jacked, not fat David Harbour. I thought it was funny. I liked the action. How would you compare it to like Winter Soldier?
Not even close to the action, because I heard a lot of people talking about how the action can overshadow the plot at times. The action in this movie, you get a sequence on a bridge, you get some Florence and like a car chase with Yelena and Black Widow, and then you get the whole ending. But the ending action scene, for some reason, I feel like the action wasn't at the forefront. Does that make any sense?
No, it was back burner.
It was like
back burner.
We would get like 30 seconds of like, oh, we're gonna get Red Guardian versus Taskmaster, and I honestly forget what the conclusion of that fight is. I forgot.
I know, and that's what I was like. When you see Red Guardian kind of line up, he's like go, and like Taskmaster does like the Wakanda Forever with the claws come out. You're expecting at least a 3-minute like one-on-one fight scene, like Dominic Toretto versus Luke Hobbs. You're like, come on, let's do this, and it cuts away, and it does that a lot throughout the action. A big complaint I have is that I don't know if anyone else can see this, but the action was messy. It felt like you're like this, moving all. You couldn't really see. It felt choppy. I mean, when you watch Winter Soldier or like Civil War, they have a wide shot of them just beating the crap out of each other. That's what I wanted with this. Taskmaster was. Honestly, that's the biggest, only complaint I really have with the film. I'm at a 4 out of 5 for it. Is Taskmaster sucked, and that's not even his fault. It's just they marketed this villain. It's just like Ant-Man and the Wasp. They marketed Ghost to be this crazy villain, and they end up being a crappy villain. And that's not the point of the movie. I get it, but still, MCU is back with the kind of poopy villains again.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is, every MCU movie has pretty bad villains. There's a handful of great ones that stand out, and that's why those movies are usually towards the top of the list. But when it comes down to it, the villain was lacking here. Either you want to go Dreykov, very bad. You want to go Taskmaster, pretty much irrelevant in this movie. So either way, villains weren't compelling, but at the same time, the family aspects kind of made up for it a little bit. But overall, I think there were moments that did drag, and you know me, I always sit here and say, oh, the movie was too long. But I mean, the middle act to me, there was a lack of like trying to finish out this plot and go get the Red Room, and there wasn't really action either. Can you really think of like a second act action scene? I can't.
No, there isn't one.
It's like Rogue One when it comes to just this weird second act of a movie. But the third act was fine enough. I hate to do this, but there was a little bit of suspect CGI to me. I know. I don't like to do that, but like
I didn't think it was too bad, but like at times falling through the sky, you can see like, okay, maybe it's a little bad CGI. Kind of like what Black Panther, when they have like the wall of people, you're kind of like, oh snap. But Florence Pugh, definitely scene stealer, show stealer. I mean, her there's a gag about her jacket with the nice pockets. That thing was hilarious. And then the posing, she's like
hilarious. Yeah, disgusting. The way she's like in the pose.
She's so funny. Florence Pugh, she's obviously getting
actually a pretty funny movie, honestly.
I was actually pretty. I was a little nervous towards the beginning, like not gonna that much humor in here, but ScarJo definitely is. It's cool to see her in here again. I love her as a character, but Florence Pugh, they really set her up nicely, especially with that post-credit scene with Madam Hydra at the end. If you haven't seen Falcon and Winter Soldier, you're gonna be hella confused on who this is. But she shows up and. Yelena, Florence Pugh, is at like her grave, and we're thinking, I immediately thought of like, okay, she whistled to her, like they have a little whistle they do. I said, is Black Widow alive? Because I'm gonna be freaking pissed if she's alive.
In the back of my head, I was like, she's alive.
Exactly. I was like, okay, so ScarJo's back here. But then Madam Hydra shows up, blowing her nose, trying to make it a little funny. They talk, and she shows her like a tablet, goes, I have your new mission. And immediately I was like, she goes, do you want to get the person who's responsible for your sister's death? I was immediately like, Thanos? Red Skull? I was hella confused. But it's Hawkeye. And that looks like it's going to lead into the Hawkeye series that Yelena might be the antagonist of the show. Or is she going to be our protagonist, anti-hero, one of the sorts? Because she's going to come after Jeremy Renner, who, and she doesn't know, but that wasn't obviously Hawkeye's choice, like Ronan's choice. He wanted to go. He's like, you know what I've become? It's going to set it up really nicely. And prediction, Hawkeye's going to be the best MCU show.
I'm right there with you. I think Yelena's addition to that and Kate Bishop coming into the MCU, it's gonna have a lot of stakes. We just know this thing is setting it up for her to be after Hawkeye and then probably team up with Hawkeye by the end of the show.
100%. So I'm excited for it. I mean, I really enjoyed the movie. We're about to buy it on Disney Plus. Watch it again today. I dug it. I'm at a 4 out of 5 on rewatch. It might even go up for me, but what are you at out of 5?
So yesterday we actually filmed a video on my channel in the car. Initial reaction, I was at a 3 out of 5. I'm up to a 3.5 out of 5. It's very solid MCU movie. Again, it kind of felt like nothing truly happened, but that's not the point, I guess. It's more just like a little Black Widow story, if you will. Almost like one of those Star Wars spin-off movies, like a little story.
Honestly, I know you hate WandaVision. I'm going to compare it to WandaVision. Yeah. It's like getting a little bit extra of a character that we love, even though they're gone. It's a prequel. You know the stakes are low because anything that happens,
bare bones.
Black Widow's going to be there at the end of the day. So it's bare bones, very simple. And they set up nicely how she goes to Infinity War. I like how they fit it in from Civil War to Infinity War. At the end, she goes there. The reveal sucked. The villain wasn't all that good, but we put all that away. It's still a fun time. I enjoyed it quite a bit. I'm a 4 out of 5.
3.5 out of 5.
Can't beat it. Well, let me know what you guys thought of this movie down below in the comment section. Full spoiler fashion. Head over to his channel. Check out our first initial reaction thoughts in the car. Little vlog car. Lots more videos coming this weekend. Peace.